could have some new winners perhaps on the ball for this year, with Stubbington there, Kelsall and Hasselhurst all qualifying well with this race. About to get underway then, so the red lights turn on now and the lights go out and the race gets underway, and it's a pretty even start, maybe a better one for Stubbington on Chris Deere, who's been a race winner this year, and it's all very busy as they head down towards Ritchie's with Stubbington and Deere, the two Peugeot 205 side by side. A good start from Andy Philpotts, who's looking on the inside line down towards Ritchie's corner. This is a 15-minute race again as they come out of Ritchie's. Has Deere got the lead back? I think he has. So Stubbington second, then Kelsall is third, side by side between Philpotts and Place, but it's Philpotts that's late on the brakes on the inside of Kelsall. A tap there perhaps with Stuart Place, who tries to get up the inside of both of them, Paul. So I think they might be free abreast as they head up towards Palmer.
Yeah, I also saw Martin Rogers have a bit of twitch there. We've got some cold tyres, of course. We don't get a green flag lap, so they had no chance whatsoever to warm these tyres up. They're incredibly slippy out there. These are very tentative first for a couple of laps until, and we've got Stephen Grooms had a bit of a spin there. Caught out on the cold tyres and looking further back. I'm looking at Stuart Place now. Stuart Place is very keen to get up with Chris Deere. There's still a fight for second, third and fourth in the championship, and Stuart Place is currently in third at the moment, and he's looking to get in front of Chris Deere. But Chris Deere is going superbly well this weekend. I'm expecting him to take the lap record, which I think is 2:23 at the moment, and he did a 2:22 in qualifying. I am expecting that to go. So looking at Stuart Place there, he's on the back of Andy Philpotts, trying to get, he's got the cut back, he's got onto the inside. Now they're going side by side as they come round. Has he got the place? Yes. And Stuart Place is one more place closer to Chris Deere.
Absolutely right, Paul. There's a bit of a question mark, of course, what the track conditions are like after the previous race. We had that Jedi that appeared to be leaking some kind of fluid. But anyway, everybody's got through pretty much okay on this first lap of the race. But something like 7 laps. Place is under pressure now, though, from Philpotts, who jinks out the toe, but it's not really going to work out for him. So Stuart Place, who's been in this category for a little while now, is there in third position. But, as you've been saying, Chris Deere, who I think was on pole by about a second and a half, is pulling away up front and battled a bit further back. Jason Hasselhurst hasn't had a great start to this race, has he? Because he started on row 2. He's dropped a couple of places. I guess it's a similar sort of thing really for Rich Kelsall, but they're much less experienced than some of the drivers they're against here, Paul.
That's right, yes, these are technically competition tyres now, and we have the same tyre whether it's wet or dry, but even in these dry conditions, it does take 1 or 2 laps for the tyres to come up to temperature, and that's why you see them quite skiddy in the beginning, because they're trying not to lose places. And as they come across, Chris Deere has got a good 5-6 car lengths on Matt Stubbington. I'm expecting Matt Stubbington, he is actually a winner here before. This is also his local track. I'm expecting him to try and get, he's very keen on getting past Chris Deere. He wasn't sure where he got that extra second and a half either, but yes, I was looking back to Hazelhurst there. He's not had the best start, but he's qualifying quite well. He has actually won a race in the past, and he is actually getting back into the groove again. Yeah,
he won at Silverstone, didn't he, a couple of years ago in sort of shock fashion. Out wide there, one of the PDC noobs, and that's Jason Wood, who had a huge amount of fun to do. Look how well Rick Groom's doing. He's right up there with Ted Cooper, who's been a winner, I think, in the past, and Jason Wood. So Rick Groom must be enjoying himself not far outside the top 10 here, Paul.
Well, I'm also looking at Jason Wilkinson. He must have had a cracking first couple of laps. That's the highest I think I've seen him all season.
Okay, so this is lap 2. Chris Deere led by a second from Stubbington in place. It's 3 Peugeots out front, isn't it, at the moment. Then you've got some Fiesta XR2Is in there as well. The Nova's not going too well either. I thought Ted Cooper might be a challenger here, but his was 11th after 1 lap of racing, so he'll be looking to move forward. Rich Kelsall now going past Andy Philpotts, and he's the best of the XR2Is as Hasselhurst has gone off, hasn't he? So Jason Hasselhurst, car number 12, has gone very wide at Hamilton. He will get back on, but he's lost a number of positions because of that.
Yes, that's quite a tight corner there, and it's so easy to go a little wide. It looks like he just got the back end onto the grass, which span him round. So he's undone some work, so he's got into the clutches now of Jason Watkinson. And I was just looking further back to see how they're doing, and here we have a newcomer there, just gone in through the picture. That's Rob Campbell. He's actually the mechanic of Chris Deere, so it should be going a lot better than it is at the moment, I think.
Okay, so this is the second lap of the race here. Then is Rich Kelsall having a good time, isn't he? Back up into 4th place after maybe a bit of a slower start, but I think higher than we've really seen him in the past. Yeah, best result of 6th this season for Kelsall. There's Andy Philpotts, who's running now in 5th, and Martin Kayser is up into 6th. He didn't qualify, so running 9th, so he's coming through the field. But there are the 3 Peugeots out front. Deere, Stubbington and Place, and then the rest come through. So Chris Deere's only won the once this year. Stuart Place is actually a driver that's won the most races with 3. There's been so many different winners. Ryan Morgan, Lee Scott, Pete Morgan, Ben Bateman and Pip Hammond all winners. So many different drivers that have been successful this year, Paul.
Yes, and also looking at Stuart Place, he's had a cracking lap. They've managed to shake up the trio, the double act of Kelsall and Philpotts, and now Stuart is all over the back of Matt Stubbington. He's so desperate to get quite close enough to Chris Deere to challenge for the second place spot. What a part! And as you know, I've raced 3 different types of vehicles in this championship, and it's only the 205 I haven't raced. Oh, and look at that! There was a late lunge there, as it made pay. Now Stuart Place has got side by side with Matt Stubbington, but Matt Stubbington's going to have the inside line for the left-hander coming up. Can he make it stick? Now this is a very tricky corner if you get wrong. And it's got it, and they are still side by side, fantastic. But Stuart Place is going round the outside. What a fantastic move!
So Stuart Place up to second. He and Chris Deere did identical lap times on the last lap, 2 minutes 25.16. So at the moment, nothing can be choose in their pace, but Chris Deere is a couple of seconds ahead. Then the Fiestas are Kelsall and Philpotts and Kaiser. So 3 by 3, isn't it, with the Peugeots ahead of the Fords at the moment?
Oh, just saw as Bateman just locked up going on the inside there. He's still getting the hang of this car. He's got a new car build for next year. And he's just coming out to see how he can go around here, and just a little bit of a lock-up, just catching him out there. But no, Stuart Place is getting away from Matt Stubbington. Now that's impressive. Matt Stubbington, he's very quick round here, and I don't know what Stuart Place. He made a few changes to his setup, and it's really paid off. He could be in touch with getting past Chris Deere. This will be a fantastic race. Looking further back, Jason Watkinson's got Ted Cooper all over the back end of it. Well, like I say, I'm surprised to see Ted back there, but be interesting how he does. Looking there now, Chris Deere has got a good 8 car lengths. Now, can Stuart Place catch him up?
This is much better, though, for Stuart Place, because he had a great start to the season where he won those races at Silverstone and at Donington Park. But I don't think he's been on the podium since Donington. I don't think. So he had that great start to the year with 3 wins and 2 second places. He hasn't been on the podium since, but he's up into second. So this is a better end to the season if it can carry on in this form, Paul.
Well, yes, obviously, but what happens is when you do actually start winning races, you get ballast weight, and that does really affect these cars. I think at one point there, he was carrying 50 kilograms of ballast, and that makes a huge difference in these cars. As they come back to the start-finish straight, Chris Deere, yeah, he's got a safe, I reckon, at about 2 or 3 seconds there, Josh. Yeah,
so it looks good, doesn't it, at this point for Chris Deere? He's just done the fastest lap at 2 minutes 23.63.
Oh, that's got to be close.
It's half a second out of Matt Rosier's lap record. So, yeah, it's getting closer. So, the track conditions obviously aren't that bad, are they? Here are the Novas, not doing as well as much we expect. Ted Cooper's 10th, Jason Wood's 11th, and then Ben Bateman's 14th. Rick Groom, this is one of his best races, isn't it? Inside the top 12, when you said about Jason Watkinson as well up in 9th.
Yes, fantastic to see Rick Groom there. That he's really changed a lot this season. He's been doing a lot of simulator training. He's been telling me, and it seems to have changed his racecraft. He's not usually in front of his brother Steve, but he's definitely showing a show of pace this weekend.
Yeah, he's ahead of Ben Bateman, who of course was a race winner in kind of surprise fashion at his first ever race meeting at Donington Park. Here's about a third, so Rich Kelsall here is trying to get on terms with Matt Stubbington, get his first ever podium in the category. So it's good to have these new names, isn't it, Paul, towards the front of the field?
It is, yeah, and of course Matt Stubbington and Titch Kessel, they're actually good mates, so let's see how much good mates they are as we get towards the end. But no, Stuart Place is getting a little bit away from Matt Stubbington, but he's not really making much impression. But it is damage limitation on keeping hold of his chances of getting second place.
Yeah, I don't know if Chris Deere can wrap it up, can he, in this race? You talk, Paul, and I'll have a look at the championship points.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, yes, it's fun. I've actually raced 3 of these vehicles in this championship. I've raced an XR2, the older shape Fiesta, the newer shape Fiesta, the XR2i, and also the Nova. And I've never driven a 205, but I'm told that they're incredibly good around the nippy sections, like in the centre of this circuit. It's very tight, and they're really good round there. I like the XR2 round here because that seems to outhandle and outbrake anything. Now, looking further back, now it looks like Matt has got the better of Titch there. He's managed to get a few lengths, and catching back up was Stuart Place. I think everyone's starting to get in the groove. I think we've got 5.5 minutes left in this race, and it'd be interesting to see if those 3 can get together.
Yeah, I think if Chris Deere wins this, he will wrap up second place in the championship today. I believe. So that's not going to plan for Stuart Place, although it's been a good race for him because he only qualified 6th. He's up into 2nd. So in that form, it's been a good race for him. But if this 2nd place that he wants in the championship, not perhaps so much. That lap, Chris Deere was 100th of a 10th slower than he was on the previous lap. So he's very consistent out front, and he leads by more than 3 seconds now from Stuart Place, who has been recaught by Matt Stubbington. So about a second is back on, and Rich Kelter's fallen away again. So at the beginning of the lap, Stubbington would look like he might lose 3rd, but now he's challenging for 2nd again.
Excellent. I think if the fastest lap was going to go by now, the tyres are getting towards the end of their usefulness. The last couple of laps will be a bit slippy. They'll be over the edge now, so I can't. I was expecting the lap record to go, but it's not going to quite make it.
Got a 3rd of the race to go then. There's Chris Deere, our race leader, pulling away from Stuart Place, and Matt Stubbington 3rd. We could have 3 same cars on the podium here, 3 Peugeot Joy 5, which is quite unusual, isn't it?
I don't think that's ever happened this year, actually. I'm trying to think if there ever been a one-make knockout of the podium places. I can't recall one, but that would be incredibly impressive. Like you say, it looks like it's going to be Peugeot 205s 1, 2 and 3 at this rate, unless Titch can just pull out that little extra edge on his friend Matt.
Quite a good battle, I think, for 5th place we just got a glimpse of there. Andy Philpotts and Martin Cater, 2 experienced drivers in the category, ahead of Martin Rogers. Jason Hasselhurst was in there as well. But here's the battle for 2nd through the Williams corner, with Matt Stubbington still there in 3rd position, chasing after Stuart Place. He's looking for his first podium in since May, so what's that, 5 months ago. So they make their way down the Bentley Straight. This is lap 5 of what should be a 7-lap race. We should squeeze in 2 more laps, and Stubbington's in the tow. He pulls out to the right-hand side of the racetrack, trying to come around the outside of Stuart Place, which he's trying with quite ambition, but I don't think he's quite managed it.
That was
close. It's not really a place you want to be doing that too much, and Stubbington thought better of it, so he might have lost, actually, if anything, in all of that, Paul, although he's not too far away.
He lost a couple of lengths there, but yeah, it's incredibly tight under that bridge, and you're braking quite heavily for the tight right-hander. And yeah, he just lost out. I think it just caught him a bit unaware, but now he's coming back on again. There's just over a car length between them. This could be getting incredibly tight. Of course, Matt, this being his local track, I've seen his family in there. They'll be rooting for him to get higher up on the podium, but Stuart Place, he's a fighter. He's definitely going to want to stay there. Looks like Chris Deere just seems to be going away, and now Matt Stubbington's pulled out from the slipstream as they go side by side heading towards the first corner, but Stuart Place is going to have the inside line, but no, Matt Stubbington's gone round the outside. What a fantastic move.
And I think he's going to hang on to it. He is. So Stubbington's got 2nd. Stuart Place has dropped to 3rd. Chris Deere's just done the fastest lap, a 2 minutes 23.22. That's still a 10th, though, out of Matt Rozier's lap record. So if that's something he was after, he's not quite achieved it yet. This is that battle behind, which was headed by Andy Philpotts, car number 18 there.
Oh, that's Darren Bassingthwaite. Oh, dear. Something's happened there. It looks like an electrical failure, but perhaps I'll have to go and see him and report back tomorrow, but that's very unfortunate. He's been incredibly consistent and really been getting in the groove. I've been giving him some tuition watching his videos, but unfortunately we couldn't allow for the car to conk out.
I think he was inside the top 15 as well, but yeah, it looks like he's not going to finish this one.
Oh.
Julie's grass tracking, but gets back on the track again, so he'll be able to continue for these last 2
Nicely
laps.
held.
These last 2 laps of the race then, with Chris Deere now 6 seconds up on new 2nd place man, Matt Stubbington, after going around the outside of Stuart Place. So he turns his way out of Oggies, and now Stubbington 2nd. He's pulling away from Plato. Jason Hasselhurst has had another offer to Hamilton, and this car's going everywhere here.
Oh, is there something down on the track there? I can't quite see. Is that Jason Wood?
Yeah.
Nearly got caught out, but that does mean that Ben Bateman has gone round the pair of them.
Yes, he went through the middle, didn't he? And he's going much quicker than the other 2.
Much the relief for Jason, because Jason actually owns that car as well. I'm sure he's relieved that they didn't touch.
Absolutely. So that's all mixed things up a little bit further behind. So there's 2nd, Stubbington. 3rd is Place. 4th is Kelsall. Then the background, Philpotts was 5th, but it's all changed behind him. But we'll continue to watch the battle for 2nd. Is Stubbington getting away? We didn't start of the lap, but now Stuart Place is coming back after him. So the battle for 2nd continues here between Stubbington and between Place as they turn their way up towards Coram Curve. And Richard Kelsall, although he's off the podium here, Paul, I'm sure 4th place, he'll be absolutely delighted with if he can hold on with one more lap to go.
That would be a fantastic. He was really chuffed to qualify 3rd, and he'll be really pleased with his 4th place finish. Just looking back, I think the 2 got quite closer together our two second place. But looking further back, Andy Philpotts has got Martin Rogers all over him, followed by Martin Kaiser, Jason Watkinson, Ted Cooper trying desperately to get around Jason Watkinson. And now we've got Stuart Place has now got the toe for second place behind Matt, but he's not going to quite make that stick. So he's still in the same order as they go around the first corner.
Side by side to be the best Nova in this race. The three Novas are together, and it is Ted Cooper trying to get past Ben Bateman. Could not quite make it though as they start this last lap of the race. So you've got the two PDC cars either side. But anyway, about a second much closer because Stuart Place is right with Matt Stubbington here. The lap times went out a bit on the last lap for whatever reason. Perhaps the tyres go off a little bit. And here's the battle behind. Bateman sideways, but he manages to keep ahead of Ted Cooper. But Cooper's got a better run. So we wonder if there is a bit of something on the track.
Something on there. Yeah, he had an incredible understeer there, but he did well. I don't think he lost the place, but well held indeed. But no, we got now Stuart Place. He's right back behind Matt Stubbington again. He's almost pushing him round. This is going to be the last straight. Who's going to get the benefit? But they're going to get into the tight middle section here, and they see who's going to bet. Just seeing what's going on, see who's going to get the best bet. Oh, they are still. There's a little bit of space in between them now, but looking further back.
Yeah, so we'll see. It should be Philpotts. Yeah, there he's in fifth. Sixth is Martin Rogers. Then there's a gap. Then Martin Kaiser's got back ahead of Jason Watkinson. Then Ben Bateman, still the best Nova, ahead of Ted Cooper. Ben Bateman only in his third ever car circuit race meeting, doing a great job there, ahead of Ted Cooper, who's been in the category for a while now. And then Jason Wood is up next. So half a lap of this race to go. Bateman's out wide, out over the curbs, on the grass. Back on, he's side by side with Ted Cooper. Could have three Novas together now because Jason Wood could make it three abreast because he's the one that's got the best exit. A bit further up the road, Martin Rogers is trying to get fifth. So we've got four Peugeots in the top six positions, haven't we? Martin Rogers there trying to make it four Peugeots in the top five if he can get past Andy Philpotts, but he can't make it work there, although Philpotts has a moment over the curb. And Ted Cooper gets ahead of Ben Bateman, so he's up tonight. But with a couple of corners to go, Chris Deer's going to win this race, the second victory of the season after Brands Hatch. So he turns his way down the centre straight for the final time, and he will get the checkered flag. And I think this is enough for second in the championship as well for Chris Deer. So he takes the flag, a pretty easy win for him. But for second, it's going to be Matt Stubbington who beats Stuart Place to that position. Then Titch Kelsall, he's the best non-Peugeot. He takes fourth place.
Well done, Titch.
And then for fifth, it's Philpotts and Rogers and Kaiser and Watkinson, and then Ted Cooper, the rest of the Novas. From Jason Wood, James Hasselhurst and Ben Bateman dropped to 12th there at the end. Rick Groom, who was in that pack earlier, has dropped a long way behind them, and there's James Hancock who's off the circuit, isn't he? But Rick Groom does take 13th, just ahead of Paul Brock and Ryan Clark. So a good race there, not quite as lively as perhaps some of the races we've seen at Snetterton for Classic Stock Catch, but Chris Deer very much in a class of his own this weekend.
He has. I don't know what he's done there. He's definitely, he must have done a lot of practicing and setting up the car. He actually does run a four-wheel alignment business, so that's obviously paid off in this particular, but he's definitely away, and we can see there, you've got Darren Bassenthwaite there just assessing. I should go and see on what's going on there. It looks like it possibly could be electrical as opposed to mechanical. So we'll let you know and keep you posted on what's going there. But yeah, it's good close racing, good clean racing. What a fantastic meeting, and we look forward to our final race tomorrow. Like you say, sadly the championship was decided before this. But that means we can all relax and just have a good weekend's racing.
Absolutely right, Paul. Let's see if we are able to have a look at the results then of that race, which was won by Chris Deer in car number 46 after 7 laps of racing. He also got the fastest lap at 2 minutes 23.22. Second was Matt Stubbington. In third place was Stuart Place. Fourth was Rich Kelsall. Fifth was Andy Philpotts. Sixth was Martin Rogers. Seventh was Martin Kaiser. Eighth was Jason Watkinson. Ninth was Edward Cooper. And 10th was Jason Wood. So just to remind you, we've got 3 more races today. We start with Tin Top action with the Clio 182 Championship up next. Then the final round of the BMW Car Club Racing Championship and the RLM Racing Bike Sports Championship. So if you're watching online on the Alpha Live channels, do make sure you like and subscribe to keep on top, because there's lots more 750 Red Club racing coming here, because tomorrow we have a full day of racing with 13 races to look forward to, including a number of championship finals. And then next weekend we have the 6-hour Burkitt Relay, the biggest motor race in the UK, and we shall look forward to that. But hopefully in a moment we shall be able to grab a word with our race winner, Chris Deere. Already cars for the next race are coming onto the grid, but they do get a green flag lap, so we have got a little bit more time this time to grab a word if that is possible. There's some post-race checks already going on, I can see, in Parc Ferme though. But we are ready, so let's go down to Matt Suckling, who's there in Parc Ferme.
Thanks very much, Josh. Yeah, down here with our race winner from that classic stock hatch race, which is Chris Deere. Chris, well done, second winner of the year for you. That was a comfortable lead by the looks of it.
Yeah, it was managing the gap to the guys behind. We got some very fast 205s on the tail. Stuart flying and catching up there who I needed to be, obviously, so he did awesome. And obviously Matt was going well as well, so yeah, just kept it clean. Couldn't quite get the lap record. I think the track was a bit dirty from the previous guys on the single-seaters, but hey, it's a nice win. That's what we came here to do. I'm happy.
Yeah, and you're looking for second in the championship, of course, so another race to go tomorrow to try and wrap that up.
Yeah, even myself or Stuart, whoever else get it, we've all been beaten by Ryan. He's made us all look silly, so fair play to him for winning it. If myself or Stuart get it, I think we both deserve second or third. You know, it's first place loser, so whichever of us get it, I think we're just going to say well done to the other one and happy days, and just keep it nice and clean and keep the cars going.
Good stuff. Well done to you, Chris. Congratulations. Let's have a quick chat as well with Matt Stubbington. If you can jump in here really quickly, Matt. Well done for second place. That was a great move around the outside of Richie's.
Yeah, obviously had second place at the start. Stuart had a good lap, made a good move past me in the hairpin, and then I managed to put a few good laps back together and find out I was a bit quicker than him up into Richie's, so got back past him. And yeah, we sort of had a good scrap then until the end.
Good stuff. Well done, Matt. Good luck for tomorrow as well. Matt Stubbington there in second place. Right then, let's move on with our next race, the K-Tech Racing Clio 182 Championship. Back to Josh and Ian.